Hello, it's your girl Latonia Monroe Naylor, your Chief Business Educator, here with another Tea and Talk Tuesday with Latonia. And I brought my other mug today. I've been telling y'all that I have a few mugs and I keep forgetting to bring them with me to the office. But here's another one that I got courtesy of my best friend, Adrian. Thank you. This is what a published author looks like. Speaking of published author, I want to remind you to purchase my book. Yes, Mission Rich and Profit Powered. It is a guide to transforming your passion into a fully funded business. It is uh definitely something you need to have in your library. I'm excited because we are getting ready to launch a Audible version of the book. It's coming really soon, so I cannot wait for that. In the meantime, I want you to purchase it. Like I said, go to my website, missionrichandprofitpower.com. You can get a signed copy from yours truly, or you can go to Amazon and get your book. We will have it available on other sites as well soon, but for now, there you go. All right. So the word of the day is consistency. Consistency. Now, I was thinking about, what are we going to talk about this week? And I was kind of going back and forth with it. And it just kept going back to mindset. Mindset, consistency. So many of us are not consistent. We're not consistent. And let me tell you why. It's this thing called gimmicks. There are no gimmicks when it comes to consistency. A lot of times people are looking on social media, they're looking on YouTube, they're looking on all these different spaces and they're seeing people who are talking about how they've been able to, make $1 million in less than 6 months, or they've been able to launch some product or whatever like that. And now you can get to six figures and make $30,000 a month or whatever. And the reality is that may have happened for one person, two people, maybe a few people. But what they don't share with you are the why or the how. They don't share with you the connections that they have. They don't share with you the folks that they know that they're able to move things very quickly through. It's just a lot of gimmicks, a lot of gimmicks. And the reality is that they make money because you buy into it because you think it's just get rich quick. And that's just not how it works. If you're going to have longevity, if you're going to have sustainability, even for people that hit the lottery, they still will lose their money very quickly if they don't have a sense of consistency, having a plan, having something that they can continue to work towards. And so I want to say to you, get rid of the gimmicks. Get rid of the gimmicks. Don't fall for the gimmicks, because at the end of the day, they are not sustainable. They might help you one time, but they're not sustainable. You have to look at what consistency is and what it does. So now let's pull up the definition. Because I told you I'm an educator at heart, right? I always tell y'all that. The quality of always behaving or performing in a similar way, or of always happening in a similar way. That is consistency. Nobody comes to or goes to, we're talking about franchises, right? And you look at a franchise like a McDonald's or, you know, Wendy's, and the reason why they continue to do well when they do well is because of consistency. Now, we've all had an opportunity to go to a McDonald's or a Wendy's or some, Costco or something like that and walk into the door and find out, hey, there's something wrong here. They're not, this is not how they usually operate. And we're not happy. We're displeased with the customer service. The food doesn't taste the same, or the environment doesn't feel the same. And we don't purchase into those particular brands because we randomly like them. We purchase because there's an experience or a consistency that you expect. Now, it's funny not mentioning fast food restaurants because I rarely eat at fast food restaurants. But I just said that to say that there's a level of consistency that anytime you go to a McDonald's across any city in the United States, you're going to encounter a similar menu, right? Very same. You're going to have the same prices for the most part, and you're going to have a very similar look when you go into the environment, right? And so those are the things that keep people coming back. People know what to expect. They know it's familiar for them. And you want people to have a familiarity with you when they're doing business with you. There's nothing worse than somebody who says that they are so pro people, for people, people centric, want to help the people. And when you go to work with them, they are mean, they're hateful, they're not showing up on time, they don't call you back, they don't follow through on things that they say they're going to do. They're not consistent. And most of the time, because we're small businesses, you're going to charge more for your product because you have to. You can't wholesale like the next business does, or for services. You don't have necessarily the affiliate partnerships yet. So, because of that, you can't charge a certain rate that somebody else might be able to charge that's been around longer than you, that has built the kind of rapport that you're looking to build. This is why consistency is important. If people don't believe that you're going to follow through, if people don't believe that you're able to stick with something and follow through on something, you're not getting their money. Nobody's investing in you and they think you're a fly by night, you're going to be gone tomorrow. Nobody's giving you a grant when they think that you are not going to be around. This is why most of the time when funders are giving out money, they look at how long you've been in business. And if you're not in business for at least 2 years, most of them will not even pay attention to you. It's very rare that you're able to leverage a relationship and be able to get funding without having that 2 year time span. So I want to say that it's not because people just don't want to fund businesses. It's because the reality is that most people are just not consistent. So you can use consistency to your benefit. You can actually get the attention of folks when they see you being consistent, and then you're not waiting that 2 year margin. There's other tricks that I talk about, and I don't want to say trick because that's not a good word, especially when we're saying no gimmicks. But there's other strategies that you can employ, right? Other cheat codes, in a way of speaking, where you can employ them so that you are showing a level of consistency. One of them is research your name before you start as a business owner. Even if you're a solopreneur, even if you're starting out sole proprietor and you're not quite sure where you want to go with things, maybe your name is your brand, right? Pick something that can have consistency and longevity. And even if you change the name of your business at some point, the branding of who you are or your name is something that people can still always feel comfortable and familiar with, right? You always want to think ahead as to how can I be consistent in what I do in my delivery? What programming, what services, what products can I provide that's going to be consistent? Because you don't want to get up there talking about things that are all over the place, right? You always want to have a theme or something that you go back to because you want people to feel that level of consistency. Not only that, the other aspect of consistency, not just the fact of being able to do things in similar ways, is this sense of comfort that you will be there. Like almost giving people a faith that you're reliable. Because if you're not reliable, again, nobody's giving you their business. Nobody wants to jump on a sinking ship even if they have a lifeboat. Okay, nobody wants to jump on a sinking ship, even if they have a lifeboat. So you want to be intentional about making people feel comfortable. And the other one is no one is going to do this for you. Nobody is going to do this for you. Nobody's going to believe in what you do, believe in the mission that you have, believe in the purpose for why you're doing what you're doing more than you. So if you're not committed to being on time, if you're not committed to showing up, if you're not committed to investing in what you do with your time, your talent, why would somebody else want to do it? How dare we expect people to invest in something that we're not willing to invest in? And it's for our own benefit. So consistency, consistency, consistency. That is super important. And the other reason why I want to tell you that no one will do this for you is that you cannot rely on everybody else to instruct you or guide you either. And I say that, and I probably will elaborate more on this next week. But I was reading an article recently, and it was talking about the difference between Dave Ramsey and Robert Kiyosaki, right? They were talking about the fact that they're both considered financial gurus, right? But one has this belief of being able to leverage debt and use that to advance their legacy and their strategies for growing in business, right? And financially. And the other has this idea of no debt and just no debt at all. They're both extreme opposites, but considered to be very reputable folks and financial gurus that people pay attention to, right? Now, The reason why you have to know that no one can do this for you is because if you're not careful and you just rely on a strategy simply that somebody else employed as your guide and effort because you're not taking the time to be consistent with what you do for yourself, then you can find yourself in a really bad situation. If you're somebody who is anti-debt, and yet you're following Robert Kiyosaki, everything that he's saying, every single strategy that he's employing, then you might be ending up in a situation where you're not okay. And vice versa, the same with Dave Ramsey, right? You may miss out on opportunities to have risky ventures that may actually be profitable for you because you don't want to have any debt, right? Because cash is king or whatever. So it's really important that not only do you understand that other people are not going to do this work for you, that other people cannot dictate to you what is best for you. You have to put in the time and effort. You have to, yes, have a strong circle of folks that you can go to for mentors, for support, to lead you and guide you. But you absolutely cannot just say, oh, I'm going to follow this person step by step and do exactly what they've done because you don't understand all the ins and outs of what they've done and you don't want to be lazy, right? Thinking somebody else is going to do it for you. It takes work. It takes work. As one of my colleagues says, it takes long, boring work, long, lonely, boring work for you to be able to get to the place where you're going to be sufficient and sustainable. And the reality is, nowadays, nobody wants to do the long, lonely, boring work. They want it quick. They want it fast. They want somebody to give it to them. They want to just model what somebody else did and think it's going to work out for them because this is what somebody else did and it's going to work exactly. This is why I teach in my class, Mission Rich Academy. I teach about strategies that are unique to you. Yes, there are principles that you should employ, but at the end of the day, at the end of the day, the strategy is something that is going to go through no matter what the season is, no matter what it is that comes your way, no matter the attacks, no matter what have you, the strategy is going to sustain you. But I, in my life, and exactly how I did it, won't. Okay, so I hope you understand that. It's the principles that make the strategy. So you can take a strategy and you can employ it into your life and how you do things the way that it works for you. Do not just do a cookie cutter. Do not just go and model everything after somebody else because you don't want to take the time to do your own research. You don't want to take the time to do your own check-ins, your own surveys, your own checking in on your clients and seeing what they think about you. You don't want to do the work. You don't want to do professional development. You just want to pick up what somebody else has done and do it and duplicate. You're never going to duplicate what somebody else has done because you are not them. You can try. You can try really well. You can try to replicate it, duplicate it, whatever. But at the end of the day, you are not going to be as effective as someone else who had the vision in the first place. That's why you glean from people and you be consistent with what you do, with your brand, with who you are, with what you bring to the table, and start to help people to understand that you, in fact, know what you're doing. And that's what Mission Rich Academy is all about. We're experts of the things we're experts of, and the things that we're not, that's where we need help. And that's where we need a village of people to undergird and support us so that we're able to get to our destiny. So I hope that what I said on today was helpful to you. I know it was helpful to me because it's helped me to get to a lot of places that I've gotten to. I want to remind folks that we have a special workshop coming up in October. Message me for more information. Had a phenomenal live stream last week with Standout Truck talking about our Mission Rich and Marketing workshop that's coming up, and I want you to be a part of it. So message us, get the information so that you can participate. Last but not least, make sure that you are following us on LinkedIn, Facebook, um, website, whatever. Just stay tuned. Stay in touch. Know what we're doing. It's going to bring you much fruit. Promise. All right, y'all. Have a blessed day.